Oh dear, I do believe I am drowning. Oh dear, I seem to have run out of oxygen and I am now drowning. Oh dear, I seem to be drowning. Well, see you soon, Harry, old chap. Even third class get quite an upgrade on this ship. They have a larger smoke room on the newly added shade deck, and now their own enclosed promenade space. When this ship returns to ocean liner service after the war, it'll sweep Cunard under the rug. Captain Bartlett is an admirable commander. He knows this ship well. Unlike most people, I actually trust his command of a ship. And believe you me, I have had my fair share of experience on this subject. I may not be the most acute inspector, but I know a faulty gantry davit when I see one. I hope they don't need this any time soon. The best compass to follow is your heart. I'm counting an additional expansion joint. Does this ship have 3, 4? These seem to be of a different design, too. Interesting how unchanged the forecastle is from the first 2 ships of the Olympic class. I suppose there's no need to change it. This isn't a passenger space. Those new gantry davits really do loom over us, don't they? Perfect for shooting up any inbound torpedoes. Why, I wish I could have a crack at that, but without any repercussion when I mess it up. Oh, that's where the other motor launch should be. I believe that's the one they brought to the mainland with them, and I brought back. This would have been the ideal spot to dump Harry. If only I'd known I'd be here in 4 months, I'd have waited. It would have been easier to get away with. Now, Claire, it's not too late with her. Someone was playing games here recently. The medical staff must do all sorts of exciting things to keep themselves occupied on the outbound voyages. It must be great to have fun. This skylight wasn't on the deck plans. Now, the real question is, how did I end up here? There I was in Naples, minding my own business, and I see a group of nurses disembark from a motor launch. And there, beyond the nurses, I see her, my girl, the Britannic. I'd toured her in Belfast before she was converted into a hospital. I had to see what the war did to her. I took the motor launch, bumped the pier a few times, and here I am. Now, question 2. Did I tie up the motor launch to the ship before I climbed the ladder? Why these ropes? To what end are they sectioning off parts of the ship from me? The ship is here. I demand to see it all. Splendid. I was beginning to think that they wouldn't be able to handle interior and exterior locations in a single build. We're an extra deck down from the Regal suite. I wonder who'd be occupying this cabin. Wounded officers, RAMC, perhaps the nurse matron, or Mr. Robin Darcy. I appreciate that they kept the curtain rods. I know whose suggestion that was on. Gallipoli and the Dardanelles campaign. What a disaster that was. They've gutted it. The pipe organ, the beautiful wood paneling, the questionable blue flooring. The one comfort is that it's being kept safe from the Huns' brutish fist. Maybe I can get some laps in before the ship departs for Lemnos. I'm glad to see the pool is still being used. The Britannic deserves some joy in these dark years. One could get lost in their own cabin on this ship. Robin, now it's time for you to have some real fun. I better get back to land soon, lest I be court-martialed. Wait, can one be court-martialed a second time? It's frankly a wonder to see how such a palace and triumph of appointment could be so rapidly turned over into an efficient medical facility supporting the greatest war we've ever known. Someone should really move this thing. It's blocking us from getting in deeper. Another opportunity for daring adventure in the bowels of the ship? Yes, please. But shouldn't they turn these boilers off? It's not like the ship is going anywhere anytime soon. Or is that for the electricity? Firemen must break step. Don't want the bottom of the ship falling out. I remember this vent above on the Titanic. I believe it was this vent that Officer Lightoller claimed he was pinned against as the ship went down. Frightful. A Georgian-style suite. The style named after the kings of the House of Hanover, a time when Britain was ruled by a German dynasty. Cabins are quite a priority for them on this ship. I've seen most first-class cabins getting enlarged, while White Star is squeezing additional ones in wherever they can. They've already begun preparing to dismantle the passenger accommodations. Won't be long now until this ship is bare steel and lit a silo. That's loud. I don't like loud things. White Star Line is really outdoing themselves with regards to passenger service. In addition to the inquiry office on the deck below, passengers have what appears to be their very own post office right here on B deck. Haven't played the pipe organ in quite a long time. I remember visiting my aunt in Sheffield when I was a child. She used to play such beautiful music on her Wurlitzer to drown out my cries. I believe I've seen this room in a moving picture once. I understand every one of these cabins forward have direct access to their own washrooms. That's quite an advancement from previous ships, even from Titanic, even from my own flat. Since things hit a crescendo and rapid diminuendo with Claire, I've had to share latrines with that greasy Mr. Tundry and his band of urchins. I will not put up with their privy pinches any longer. Titanic's grand staircase was an improvement on Olympic's, and now Britannic's staircase surely improves on Titanic. Now, let's see if we can't spot any differences. Not going any farther today. What an upgrade from Titanic and Olympic. Look at the marble panels and the gilded torch lamps. A real step up, something to really compete with those marvelous German liners. Oh, I hope no one heard me compliment the Hun. There's just something about a saltwater plunge that really stains my new suit. This would be a much better fireplace if it were wood-burning. Nothing beats a firm log of birch to really heat you up on those cold Seattle nights. This regal suite is to be the grandest cabin on the ship. It's a travesty that the war effort requires it to be gutted tomorrow. They've really truncated it from what it was originally on the other two liners. Not now, Robin. Business before pleasure. Well, here's a stack of memories I should probably begin repressing. I know I shouldn't have access to this, but I'm going to share it with the world, even though I know I shouldn't, because that's the kind of bang-up chap I am. What is the meaning of all these ropes everywhere? More rope. What is the meaning of this? Toot toot, young man.